Hi everybody, welcome to Raising Sipusetsu. Listen, I am continuing today with the Nanny Chronicles, okay? The Nanny Tales. I'm with Sipo here, so if you hear her making some noises, she's just playing and helping me with the story. She's gonna help me remember the story. This one, guys, this one was more a helper than she wasn't a caretaker really because this was back in I think around 2012. Sipo was not even 2 years old at the time. We had not really started having medical issues at all. I just needed someone to be in the house and help me out while I'm at work. And I think it's because Usipo was young at the time. I've been trying to remember because I don't remember that lady dealing with Usipo as such. Like, did she take care of Sipo when Sipo was small? Was Usipo going to a crash? What was happening? But she was in the house helping. Okay. So the way that we found this one was this guy who is a friend to Baba Galungi had, like when you're working, people always ask, I think you can find people jobs like, I have a sister who's looking for a job. Please find, if you can, if there's anything, please let us know, whatever. And it was that situation where, at home, when you're the one that's working and everything is expected from you, even your siblings. So it was like her sister or cousin. And it was like, he's the one that is expected to take care of her. So he really wanted her to find something to do so that she can take care of herself. Okay. Anyways, simple said. So okay, fine. Yeah. So he had when he had Baba Lungi talking about the fact that we needed someone, we were looking for someone in the house. He actually begged us, "Would please take her." I still get fine. I called her, explained what she was gonna be doing, how much she was gonna get paid, and I think at that time it really wasn't a lot. I don't wanna lie because I had just started working at DOT back then. After moving back from Joburg. So, yeah. And I think at the time, anyway, the work was going to be easier because we just needed someone to be in the house. And the kids, Ulung and boy, were already at school. They were already going to school. I don't remember what the situation was with Usipo, but I just know that at that time she wasn't requiring Ilokuzani caretaking that she requires now because remember Usipo was not really born with her condition. So, and she was very small at the time. She might have been taking care of support too, I think. So okay, fine. Yeah, she comes. I explain everything. She was gonna be doing in the house and whatever. Guys, for me, the food thing is always a struggle for me. My sister even said this one time. One thing that you need to learn to do when it comes to people helping in the house is that when they come, be very clear about food boundaries. Like, be very clear what they allowed to eat and what they're not allowed to eat. If they make their own food, this is what they can use. This is what they cannot. Because if you are not clear, you will have problems. And, I struggle. I mean, I can't have food talks. It's hard to have food talks, and that's why I always have problems when it comes to food. So this lady comes. Obviously, she was going to be with the kids during the day, and then when they come back from school and whatever, and she'll be there too. So she was gonna be all looking the way young at the time. So they would require to be and all that. So and I think when she started. The schools were closed because I think she went for like a month or two and it was over. Maybe even a month and a half and it was over. So then I think what I noticed when she had just started working, like when you buy izinto zokudla emini like eggs, polony, maybe cheese, fish fingers, those things that make it easier for kids to have something to eat mabelambile emini before you cook dambama, if you're somebody that cooks once a day. When you buy those things, I used to feel like yena she feels the need that if umntwana ethi I'm hungry, then she must go and do the whole display yokudla. Like she will fry the eggs, she will put the polony, she will put the cheese, she wants to do everything and then do the eat juicy and whatever. So imagine if the schools are closed, how many times the kids say, I'm hungry. She wouldn't do just something simple, take bread, put peanut butter, me, here is juice, pause, no. So, and I don't, that lady was with us maybe a month and a half or 2 months, but I don't know how many eggs I bought. I don't think I've ever bought as many eggs as I bought with that lady. And then I remember after like 2 weeks, I'm like, I like, ayaphela. And then I started watching like, and then I realized that's what she was doing. Like the kids would say they're hungry, and the kids feel like they know, oh, I is gonna fry everything that exists in this house. And then so I started noticing that she was doing it, and I was like, so I sat her down and I was like, listen, my kids are not like that. My kids are not fast on food. My kids, it's like margarine and isinkwa. But even pupule they will do. At that time, I remember how much they liked pupule. People never used to understand. What's in pupule? What's in what kind of pupusha? Pupusha is the water with sugar. My kids used to like that. You put butter on bread, you do pupusha. But was they were not complete. So my kids are not like that. It's not like every time they say they're hungry, you have to do all this whole thing. So sometimes, like if you've done the eggs and whatever in the morning, then you can just give them whatever bread with something with butter or whatever, and you don't have to be doing the splash all the time. You know. So then I'm thinking, oh, I showed like, oh, okay, no, I now I understand, you know. So I'm thinking there's gonna be a difference because guys, and at that time we were really under a budget. We are we are on a budget now. We're always on a budget, but that time we were really on a on a budget. So like, I ukudla kungapheli kanjani ukudla. And sometimes like you do have food to cook, but makusuke kungekho isinkwa, ilokhuzana, into yokugcoba isinkwa, those things, you just feel like akukho ukudla endlini. There's no juice, you feel like akukho ukudla endlini because those are the kind of things that kids eat when they are at home, daytime. Ne? Hayibo, no, hayibo. At some point, I even stopped buying eggs because I'm like, hayibo, what's happening with the eggs? And then you guys, after some time, maybe after weeks, this one time, Amanda, my son says to me, yo ma, dala ngagcina ukudla amaqanda. He's like, I haven't eaten eggs in a long time in this house. I'm like, because I thought that even though I had spoken to her about not making eggs all the time for the kids, like she'll be making eggs like 3, 4 times a day, and she's not making one egg. Maybe each kid she's frying 2 eggs, and every time she fries an egg for the child, she fries an egg for herself. So it's like she enjoyed making food because every time she makes food, she makes for herself. So every time a child says they are hungry, she's not gonna make she's not gonna make just for the child that they're saying he's hungry. She's gonna make for the child and for her. That's why I feel like she enjoyed making the food. So then, so I felt like okay, she decided not to listen to me because still the food is getting finished, you know. And it was a struggle. I don't wanna lie, you guys. So fine, what is that music now? Okay, yeah. Fine. I'm like, I didn't know how to solve the problem, you guys. I didn't know how to solve the problem. But so Amanda helped me by complaining. It's like, oh ma, kade sagcina kunamaqanda thina la endlini amaqanda sisawadli, you know. Ngisanodla amaqanda kanjani amaqanda hlezi ethengela endlini. Athi uboy u-anda akasenzela amaqanda uzenzela yena ayedwa. Auntie doesn't make eggs for us. She makes for herself. Now I'm confused. Now that what's confusing me is the fact that the eggs are still getting finished, guys. Like 50 eggs, maybe like 3 days, and not 50, 30 eggs. Yes, it's 30 that Yes, maybe 30 eggs will be gone in 3 days. So, but I will be like, she's making for the kids because I'm thinking she likes frying 2 eggs per kid. And okay, also at the time she was small, so I wouldn't count her. If she's frying two, and two for her, that's 6 eggs, 3 times a day. So it's 6, 12, 18. So it's like 18 eggs a day. So it makes sense that in 3 days, 30 eggs will be finished. We'll be needing to buy more eggs. So, and then she was that person that would be like the first one to say, amaqanda awekho. I'll be like, hayi bo, wena ukwazi ukuphila amaqanda angekho vele. Amaqanda awekho. Maybe uyaphuma emsebenzini athi, yo, there's no eggs. Hey, kade sasibona, yo. So after Amanda tells me that the auntie hasn't made eggs for them in a long time, so I asked her. The kids are saying, "Oh, I asked Lungi. Lungi, I know Andamaqana. Lungi, auntie doesn't make us eggs. Lungi is a peace person. Oh, Lungi, oh boy, she would snip. What do you call it? He would tell on aunties. Oh boy is the one that has made me even aware of very sneaky stuff that auntie would do. He's very quiet when in the house, so they won't. Sometimes I'm naggy when they're doing funny stuff, but he will be the one to tell me, "And man, this auntie is not a very nice auntie. This is what he did. She did. He's like that. Ulung is a peace person. I would only find that after the person has gone, was this auntie used to do that. So I asked Lungi, what's happening? Lungi's like, yeah, auntie doesn't make us eggs. She said you said she mustn't make us eggs, so she just makes for herself. Now I'm thinking, how are why am I saying this? Why are 30 eggs gone? How are 30 eggs gone in 3 days if you are eating them alone? Hmm? Hey, Bo. So, in the same time we are dealing with the eggs issue, every time that we will come back from work with Baba Lunges, he'll be wanting to change, looking for his flip flops. Every time we're looking for his flip flops and not in the bedroom, we look in the dining room, and then maybe later on the flip flops will be found, but it will always be found in the children's room, in the kids' room. And then every time I'll be like, oh, okay, maybe auntie would when maybe Baba Lungisa would leave them in the dining room, and then bese mhlawumbe yasaba ungena ekamereni lethu to put them there, but I would be like, but she was cleaning icamera, so I would be like, okay, what's happening? And then every time that would happen, like every time I'm recording, boy, it will happen like all the time. Every time we're looking for, like, we come back from work, we're looking for flip flops, we can't find them, they'll be found in the children's room. One day I come back early, you guys, and this is like, okay, let me not mix the two. Okay, fine. We're having that issue going on, we're having a Amakanda going on. So after Amanda tells me, and I asked Lunga about Amakanda, they tell me, so I asked this lady, what's happening with the kids saying they don't eat the eggs? She's like to me, you told me not to make them eggs. I'm like, no, I said that you mustn't make them eggs all the time because there's no need to do that all the time. They don't need to be eating eggs every time that they eat. And what's happening, boy? So then, okay, now boy has distracted me. Okay, so I'm like, no, I never said that you mustn't make them eggs. I just said that don't make them eggs all the time with every meal. They don't need to be eating eggs with every meal, and they don't need to eat everything in one meal. You can say do eggs, do something like peanut butter, do maybe fish fingers. You don't need to eat everything at the same time. Do you even know how much grocery costs? So, but I obviously didn't say, so that's what I meant. She's like, no, I thought you meant. So I'm like, and then eat juice, do you make them juice? And then of course, guys, she used to sit on the couch. There was one couch she used to sit on, and every time you look here next to the couch, there's a big glass of juice. That lady drank juice whole day, every day. She always had a glass of juice. So ngithi mina ijuice yona ubenzele. Athi no, bathi bona bathanda umpupula. And at that time, guys, we had changed because we used to buy, those smallanyana halls because we were like, this is not gonna work because it just used to get finished. Those who are in Durban, they know checks that sells infusion lengak, like the 5 liter. It used to get finished. I'm thinking it's the kids, and I was wondering, hey, bazoba nenyongo. Interesting, I guess I put infusion le, infusion le nkulu. I think I used to buy a mango or something. I think that mango. And infusion is not that nice. But in that situation, you couldn't buy a oros because I think if we bought the oros, she was just going to drink oros from his scoop. The way that lady used to drink juice. So just on your hands and I know. I'm not thinking, this lady is eating all of the food alone, drinking all of the thing alone. At the same time, around the same time. So we have that conversation. I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. I just meant don't make them eggs all the time. They don't have to eat like that all the time. And they don't have to eat everything all at the same time. She's like, okay, I understand. And then, yeah, there's one day I come back. It's like maybe a few days later, I come back early from work. I find her there with the flip flops. Zikamistekwana lapha. I'm like, hey, are you wearing izicathulo zikababa walayikhaya? And she's like, yeah, it's just that when I came, I forgot my flip flops. And I'm like, I don't, guys, I'm a shoe person. Like, I'm a shoe person. Like, I have flip flop. Mama book, mama order, slippers. There's boxes with slippers. I've always been that person. I buy shoes more than I buy locals, and sometimes I give them away. In fact, about my helpers, if we wear the same size as me, you always get shoes for me because I'm a shoe person. I'm like, so out of zonke icathulo that are in this house, you decided also you wanted to wear this. And she's like, no, ngibone wena ukuthi unonyawo oluncane. So these were the ones. And yeah, guys, man, when she has a flip flop, if she has 2 pairs of flip flops, it's because the others were about to get, old, and then put the other one ends up with 2. But he won't just randomly have 2 pairs. If he has a flip flops, those are the only flip flops he has until I go. So, so did I not almost faint? I'm like, oh, that's why we can't find the flip flops. The flip flops are in the kids' room because that's where she puts them after she wears them the whole day. I'm like, sis, that is just not, that doesn't happen in any kind of household. I don't care where you're from, that just doesn't know. You don't go to somebody's house and wear the shoes of the father of the house. That does not happen. Overlong comes back and I tell him, hey, Pela, but I think there was the one auntie where he was the first one to say, "Hi, she needs to go." She needs to go, and I was like, now I'm eating the food thing. Like, this is not working out. So I let her go. To know you have to let go. I don't think it's working out or whatever. I can't remember what I said. If I said it's because of the shoes. Then we're thinking it's over now. She's gone, and we're like, yo, hey. I bought that lady one thing is a crosser, yes, one crosses that lady because I cannot buy food for my kids because my kids needs to eat, and I had just started working, so I think she was the first one that we got after I got a job here in Durban. So I mean, hayibo sake sekuthenga ukudla sithengela umuntu osebenzayo. Then when she leaves, okay, fine. We think it's over. I'm thinking, yo, Pumol, over. I think also at that time I took her to my mom's, and then Olung have always been kids that can take care of themselves really, if there's a need, So I could do into yoguthi, okay, saying bazo esikoleni and then come back bavule endlini and whatever, they'll be alone for a couple of hours before I come back from work. They could do that. And Emalokshini, that's a nice thing about it is that neighbors they know ama movements akho sometimes, so they know when the kids are there. They were, if something funny happens, they would say, oh no no no, what's happening there, whatever. So for the most part, in Ghana is safe in that way. So I think I did that for a while until I got someone else. Okay. So now, hi, one day ngizihlalele because phela angithi we let her go, but mina I didn't feel the need to call Lou's friend, even though nami bese ngimjwayele vele, because he would come to our place all the time. I just felt like Lou will tell him what happened. So I guess they talked because after he had gone home and found her at home, he wanted to know what happened. How did you lose the job? Because remember, I told you he really needed her to have a job. So when he came back and he asked Baba Lungu what's happening, Baba Lungu told him, huh? That one, that one was wearing my shoes. This guy. And remember, those people are from Emakai. Emakaya. The way he was so embarrassed when he comes home, Baba Lungu is like, yo, the way this guy was so embarrassed. He was like apologizing whole day at work today. But he doesn't understand what got into this late. We think it's over. One day I'm at work, was there WhatsApp at that time? So now WhatsApp more 2012. But I get a message. And I'm like, who's this message from? Because I think her number I had never really saved it with a name. The message is from this lady. She says, you know what, see, yeah, having Portugal, I'm so disappointed in you. I thought you were a good person. How can you tell my family that I wore your husband's shoes? How can you tell my family? Basically also to tell my family that, yo, guys, I wonder if I tell you that there is a person I am as an employer that is very different from the real me. You can be employed, you can be working for me for a very long time and never meet the upset me, no matter how challenging the relationship between me and you is in terms of work. Because if you are taking care of my kids, I'm very careful about how I treat you, what I say to you, what I know, what I don't say to you, because my kids are the most important thing in my life. So sometimes you can work for me for like 6 months and never ever ever see me upset at you, no matter what you do. And I think that lady, because well, even though she had done all of those things, she had never seen me even upset. She thought she could do that. She sent me a message. Yo, I wanted to go there where she was. So I called her. Did I not give her everything that was on my mind at the time? Like, listen here. Number one, your employment is done. So since your employment is done, my relationship with you is done. You must never, ever, ever use that number again for nonsense. Did you not wear? Did you not wear it? I did. So where is the lie there? And where do I know your family, Mina? Have I ever known your family? He's like, no, I thought it was you because nobody else knew. You see, Mina, I don't know how they find out that you wore the shoes there. And anyway, you did. So what's wrong with that? Anyway, you did. So what's wrong with that? And I say, yeah, delete my number from your phone. My relationship with you ended the day that I said you were fired. How later on I get a message, oh, I'm really sorry. Now I realize that my brother must have spoken to Ubaba in Yay! Yes, that was the chronicle. Trust me, I have 20 more worse than this. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's so hard to try and remember this because sometimes I'm like, oh, this one, when was it? I have to remember where were we staying at the time. Which child was this one? Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for watching. The chronicles are coming because there is a lot of them. Anyway, bye. Simple, you wanna say bye? You wanna say bye? You wanna say bye? That auntie you don't remember. I know you don't.